Hey North Coast, my name is Taylor Osborn here at the Fallbrook campus, and it's funny, having a name like Taylor, people never really ask me where that came from or if there's a story there. When people have a really unusual name, really unique name, everybody wants to know if it's a family name, if there's a story behind it. Well, even with a name that's pretty common, I have a story. My parents sat down before I was ever born and they discussed me having a gender neutral name. They wanted to make sure that someday, if a resume crossed someone's desk, that I would be judged on merit alone, gender not a factor. And so they pretty well landed on Taylor. And then shortly thereafter, a song by Taylor Dane came out called I Will Always Love You. And for them, that was it. They knew that they would name me Taylor. And as I went through all of my school years and sports and all having a bunch of friends, I had a ton of nicknames. I had at least one other Taylor in all of my classes, and so I answered to a lot of things. But it wasn't until after I became a Christian that I realized I had been answering to a lot of things that weren't my name. I had been letting a lot of things define me and catch my attention that I shouldn't have been. And so today I'm going to read from Genesis 1, the beginning of the story, right where we were thought of. It's Genesis 1, verse 27. It says this. So God created man in his own image. In the image of God, he created him. Male and female, he created them. I read this verse, and then I immediately went and checked a ton of other translations to see if it was going to be any different. Was it always that repetitive? Is there a translation where they were a little bit more fluid with it? Does it become any different? And no, for the most part, that verse is verbatim, backwards and forwards, just like that. And I found that to be so interesting because working with teenagers, I know why I say things twice. I say things twice when I'm pretty sure they're not listening. I say things twice when I'm pretty sure they will forget. And I say things twice when it's really important. And so it begged the question for me, what did he know I'd forget? And when we're adopted into the family of Christ, we change what we answer to. We change our name because we're proud to have been claimed. We have been created in his likeness, and for that reason, when we choose him, we become royalty. But on my bad days, I could hear a call out for royalty and I would never answer. On my bad days, what catches my attention is broken and damaged and insufficient and second best. And yet from the moment that I chose him, those stopped being my names. Those stopped being your names. And now we get to answer to free and enough and sufficient, heard and known and created in his likeness. Because if it was important enough to say twice, it's important enough to hear now. When we choose Christ, we are free to accept new names. And so today my encouragement to you is to spend time letting God call you by your name. Spend time with God today, allowing him to redefine those things that have been catching your attention. Because even on those days that you do not feel like enough, don't forget that you are worth everything he had. Have a great day, North Coast.